Hello and welcome to this video. I hope that if this reaches you in the time that you need it for yourself. I'm sitting outside and I'm shuffling the Divine Animals Oracle to see what messages come up for you today. So if you see that you like my vibe, don't forget to like, vibe, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon to see when I come back on with a video. Anyways, what does this collective need to know for their highest good and their highest happiness? Okay. I knew that one was gonna come up, but the hyena comes up. I'm gonna put that there before the wind picks up. Interesting that the hyena came up, and it reminded me of the my favorite movie as a child was The Lion King, and so this card specifically talks about fear, and I'm realizing that those hyenas were like, they laughed at the face of fear. Like, fear amused them. Like, there's not very much they feared. I think the most that they fear is being attacked or eaten by the lions, and even then they laugh at it. They don't take it seriously. And I think it's funny that I did a video the other day about face everything and rise, or fear everything and run. And so it's coming up again. With this hyena card. I want to show you this hyena card. And this is exactly why it reminds me of Lion King. Because when Scar brought the hyenas to Pride Rock no longer looked like this beautiful heaven-like energy. It started to look like this. It started to go into shambles. And like, yes, that's the circle of life, but that's like, it's giving me the energy of like balance and discord, or it's like balance and discord. Like, there's two sides of the coin. Is it gonna, which way are you gonna flip the coin? And what does the collective need to know about this hyena energy? Fear is not going to make you feel safe or stable. You got the sea turtle coming in. Fear is never going to make you safe. We fear the unknown so much, but here's the thing, is like, we come from a place of fear when we realize that we're doing something different than yesterday, and the thing that we're doing different from yesterday, we don't know if that's going to keep us alive and stable. So like, fear is always calculating our next move, and it forms a drawback. It forms a drawback, a step back, and sometimes it may take us a moment to go, well, am I safe? Am I intrinsically safe? And that's when you anchor it in. I keep feeling the need to anchor in. I did that on purpose. Anchor in safety. Anchoring it in within yourself. You have that safety within yourself. You just need to anchor it in, and when you anchor it in, disconnect anything outside of that, because I think we give so much power and allegiance to power and allegiance to the dollar, right? So like we tie safety to the dollar. We tie safety to our connections. We tie safety to our marriages, our jobs, everything. Like, find safety within yourself and disconnect the safety from the money, the partner, the job. The reason why is because when you do that, you're holding the energy of safety for yourself. So if something happens with the money, it doesn't make you go batty. If something happens with your partner, you're still grounded in that safety. Yeah, you're worried about your partner. That part's okay. But if you tie safety to your partner, tie safety to your job, tie safety to money, if all those things crumble all at once, you're on a sinking ship. Harsh reality. It's a harsh reality, but it's true. And so when we tie ourselves into safety within ourselves, we start to learn that our patterns begin to shift. Our patterns begin to shift, and what do we end up doing, Spirit? What do we end up doing? We end up feeling so much joy in that safety, and we release we release to get the jaguar. We release all doubts, all fears, all worries, all tears. We release those to the ether, to our angels, to our, you know, our source. We give it to source, we give it to universe, we give it to God, we give it to angels. We release all those doubts, those worries, those fears out, and that's what creates that level of joy and deep love and compassion, is when we can release so much fear. What are we afraid of? Are we afraid of being seen? Are we afraid of being heard? Are we afraid of success? Are we afraid of failure? If we are afraid of those things, that fear is calling us to rise and become like a peacock. A peacock extends out. It expands. It expands its tail feathers, and it looks beautiful when doing anything. And the peacock is talking about prosperity, but deep down, the prosperity comes from understanding our own power within, and how that power can be expanded out if we allow ourselves to be that beacon of light without that fear. Because the thing is peacocks may have their own sense of fears, right? Like, if you run up to a peacock may, like, chase you, or it may, back away because it feels threatened. But it's one of those things where I've never seen a peacock be fearful about shining. It's kind of like they say about butterflies, right? Butterflies don't know they're beautiful, but we see the beauty. We see the beauty. The butterfly's like, what the heck? So, I feel like I'm just having using the cards to have a conversation, and that might be what I'm gonna do from now on. Is like, I can ask questions, yes, and sometimes the questions may be answered, sometimes the questions may not, but I can talk about the energy of the cards and what I feel in the moment. And that's what I love about doing card readings, is like, yeah, we can get questions And yeah, we can lean in, but we can also lean in to the conversations that we have with them. Like the fact we got the lynx and then we got the polar bear. So the deepest secret in your family line, because the polar bear talks about ancestry and the lynx talks about secrets, the biggest secret is your bloodline's secret weapon. You're releasing fear not only from you, you're releasing fear from the bloodline. You're releasing fear from the bloodline. Wow. Because I want you to think about this, and like you can share it in the comments if you feel comfortable, but when it comes down to what I just said about releasing fear from the bloodline, what is one fear you have in common with your mom and dad or your grandma? Because ancestral wise, what happens is, traumas happen, right? And when a trauma happens to our grandma, it happens to us too. And the reason why it happens to us too is because your grandma has all the eggs. Like, if your grandma had like 7 children, she had everyone within her at that time. And they had everyone within them. Make sense? So if something happened and all of a sudden your grandma's afraid of heights and that goes out, it's like a echo out to situations, and we adapt like chameleons here. A chameleon can touch something of one color and touch something of another color and go from that one color to the next. And the chameleon's talking about change. Things have got to change. Things have to shift. Shifting out of that fear is up to you. It's up to you, or it's up to your, like, if you're not a cycle breaker, which I feel like I'm just talking to a bunch of cycle breakers. So you're all cycle breakers, or at least if you're not a cycle breaker, you know a cycle breaker. And here's the thing, is what it brings to the family is once you heal something, once you remove yourself from fear, once you heal from fear, it impacts you, but it impacts 7 generations forward and 7 generations back. Let that sink in for a moment. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. When you're doing that, it has a ripple effect. 7 generations forward, 7 generations back. And that doesn't matter if you have children or not. Because you healing that pattern is going to teach your niece, your nephew, your cousin, and that they're going to have children, and that's going to pass on, and there's going to be beauty in everything. Right now you might not see the beauty in it because you got the swan, right? The swan's not always beautiful to begin with, right? The ugly duckling. Swan's not always beautiful to begin with. But the cool thing about the ugly duckling and the story of that and how it becomes this beautiful swan is it had to work through levels of fear of not being accepted, fear of not fitting in, fear of being alone. And when it conquered the fear of being alone, it realized it wasn't so alone after all. And you got the dolphin coming in with happiness. So it's interesting, right? So I'm talking about generational trauma, right? There's, you know, this could be grandma, but this could be you. So I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I actually really did enjoy this conversation because I think it fits better having a little bit of storytelling and maybe not even storytelling, but being able to connect with you as if I'm talking to you and we're sitting on the porch and I'm just, shuffling cards for conversation's sake and seeing where that lands for you. So if it lands for you in any way, shape, or form, please definitely let me know down in the comments. I love reading the comments and I do interact. I'm going to go ahead and send you so much love and put this in the box. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Much love.